If you struggle to sleep, you wake up with brain fog, and every day, no matter how much you sleep, you still feel tired, then this video is for you. Most ADHD adults are stuck in a nighttime arousal loop that keeps the brain wired when it should be winding down. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact loop that's keeping you tired and the 4-step night routine to completely break this so you can finally wake up without that brain fog. And if you're new here, I'm Eugene Yao. I'm a dopamine coach for ADHD brains, and I'm also completing my master's in neuroscience. Okay, let's get into it. So here's the cycle that most ADHD brains get stuck in. So first you gotta understand, people with ADHD, they start their day off with a low dopamine baseline. So what does this mean? It means that you start off your day here, right? And dopamine, what you need to know is they're in charge of your focus, your mood, and your motivation. So think of this like your energy tank. When you have low dopamine, then you don't have great focus, you have terrible mood, and you have terrible motivation. Therefore, you procrastinate. So every day, people start off with a baseline, right? Our baseline is quite low. Neurotypicals, their baseline is higher. So because their baseline is higher, they get better focus, better mood, and greater motivation. So you see this blue line here? That's when you're like, your mood's good, you don't really need to get super stimulated because you feel good, right? But the issue is people with ADHD, they start with a low baseline. Therefore, they're trying to reach that feel good factor. So they do what? They chase stimulation. So this is scrolling. So once you chase it, guess what? You get a short-term satisfaction, but you actually drop below baseline, right? And before you have time to recover, we're like, oh my God, I feel terrible. I want to eat some snacks, some sugar. I want to binge watch a TV show. Oh, I want to play a video game. So this is why we chase dopamine hits, so that we can try to be like, oh my God, this feels great, get that peak. But every time we get that peak, we drop even lower. So this is what you need to know. People with ADHD, they start with a low dopamine baseline. So the next thing, that's the first part of the cycle. The second part is high novelty stimulation at night. So at night, let's go back to this graph here, right? At night, something happens. Let's say this is 9 p.m., right? You're already at your lowest. You feel like, oh my God, there's a few things, this is 9 p.m. There's a few things you would feel, right? You would feel restless, you would feel bored, or what we call mentally itchy. Because you're like so low on dopamine, you need that kick. So what happens? This is where you chase the most amount of stimulation, and you call that winding down. So you're like, I really need that kick. And this comes in the form of Netflix, screens, scrolling, gaming, online shopping, sugar, binge, late night snacking. So these are the things that you will try to chase, which is even more stimulating than the things that you were trying to chase in the morning, right? So high novelty at night. And what's terrible about this, it's hard to disengage. So super hard to disengage. Because when you're already low on dopamine, you just want to feel a little bit better before you fall asleep. Okay. So number 3, now what happens when you chase that high novelty is your brain becomes wired. And not just that, your melatonin gets delayed. And did you know that? Melatonin, what I like to say is, it makes you feel mellow, right? Just remember that, it makes you feel mellow. So what happens is that you fall asleep a lot easier and you get deeper sleep. First, because your brain is wired, what happens is that your sympathetic nervous system is on. Nervous system. So this is your basically your fight or flight mode. You're in fight or flight mode. So think of it like this. You just watched a super stimulating movie, like or a TV show, or you're scrolling and it's super funny. Your brain doesn't turn off. Your alert mode is still on. And because of that, you'll notice like all these thoughts that coming in and out super fast. That's because you're still overstimulated. So that's number one. You're basically signaling to your brain, if you're doing these high stimulation activity, that, hey, something might happen, this might happen. So you're not winding down. And the next thing is you are also getting blue light from your screens. And blue light, 30 to 60 minutes of blue light delays melatonin, guess how much? By 1 to 2 hours. That's crazy. So you're not getting that sleepy hormone that is supposed to produce at night. Now, because of this, what happens is that you start to sleep later and you have lighter sleep. So why is this terrible for you? It's because you have a circadian rhythm shift. So this is basically your body clock, and everyone has a body clock. Usually what happens is in the morning, you get energy because the sun comes out, and at night, you're supposed to go to sleep. At night, you're supposed to produce more melatonin because it's super dark. But because we have blue light, it mimics the sun. It mimics that, hey, you're supposed to be awake. So now your circadian rhythm shifts. And now you're getting less deep sleep because your circadian rhythm shifts, and not just that, you're ingesting a lot of dopamine. Less deep sleep and more fragmented sleep. So if you notice that you keep waking up a lot, or if you feel like you're not well rested, that is the reason, okay? Now, let's go to 5. So because you're constantly getting less sleep, later sleep, light sleep, fragmented sleep, you become sleep deprived. So this is when you'll wake up foggy. This is when you have low energy. All right, and then what happens when you are sleep deprived? You wake up with lower dopamine baseline. So this will actually worsen your symptoms for ADHD. So this is worsened symptom. So you'll notice something. Now it loops all the way back. You wake up with lower dopamine, and then what? It loops back. So you have low dopamine. So because you have low dopamine, what happens? You chase those novelties in the morning, and every time you chase it, your baseline drops even lower until at night you're super low. You're craving the highest, most stimulating thing. And then it makes it hard for you to disengage. So that means your brain starts getting wired, your melatonin gets delayed. And then you're sleeping later, and you have lighter sleep, more fragmented sleep. And because of that, you are sleep deprived. You wake up foggy, you have lower energy, and you wake up in the morning with a lower dopamine baseline, and the cycle repeats. If the cycle sounds familiar, there is nothing wrong with you. This was me for years. Now I make videos every single week helping you thrive with ADHD. So if you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing so I can continue to make these videos. Now, I'm gonna teach you guys how to break this, and there's 4 simple steps, and it's a lot easier than you think. Let's get into it. So the very first one, what you have to do, the step number 1, is schedule sleep. This one's so interesting. So you wanna pick a time in the morning and night to go to sleep. So let's say I want to go to sleep at 10 p.m. right? Put it in. And I want to wake up at 6 a.m., right? So that is just scheduling your sleep. Also, even on the weekends, you have to sleep in the same time and wake up in the same time. I know this might be hard for some people who likes to stay up later in the weekend, but let me tell you why. So imagine this, right? This person here, let's say he or she is a hunter and gatherer from 10,000 years ago. And then this is you. Guess if there is any difference to your brain. There is no difference in your dopamine system. Your brain right here, up here, is equivalent. The same brain. Now, let me ask you, back 10,000 years ago, was there concept of time? Was there like, oh, the hunter and gatherers are like, oh, it's 4 p.m. Let's head back. No. Was there a concept of weekends? Was there like, oh, hey Bob, it's a Saturday. Let's not go hunt and gather berries. No. Do you see what I'm saying? They look at the sun, the sunlight that comes in, their body, they can feel the energy, and the energy goes like this, right? They can feel it. They can feel like, okay, now the sun is down, let's go to sleep. But us, they sleep at the same time and they wake up and sleep at the same time every day. But us, we're like, hey, it's a weekend, let's stay up till 3 a.m. That makes no sense. We open all these lights and we stay awake. That is terrible for your circadian rhythm. So the first thing you want to do is schedule in sleep. And this will help with your body clock, your circadian rhythm. And this will help with your deep sleep, which is so necessary. Okay? So a simple step, schedule in sleep. Number 2, screens. Screens out. Screens out the bedroom. Your TV, your iPad, your mobile phone, charge it outside your bedroom. Anything that emits blue light, get it out. And you want to get it out 1 hour before bed. 1 hour before bed. So this allows melatonin to rise. And this decreases stimulation so that you're not on alert mode. You're not in fight or flight. You're not thinking, I can be excited. I can be active. My brain can keep thinking. We don't want that, all right? Screens out 1 hour before bed. Harder than you think for this one, but once you do it for 1 or 2 days, you start to build that routine of like, okay, gotta get it out. It's gonna be boring at first, but once you do it more, it's so beneficial. And also, not just that, this actually shortens your sleep. So it makes it easy for you to sleep at 10. So what we talked about, if you want to sleep at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. screens away, okay? All right, so the next thing, number 3. Step number 3 is dim all lights. This one is, let's go back. Look. Right? 10,000 years ago, there was no light at night, right? All you had was some fire, and fire goes downwards. You don't have fire that is all the way up, that's shining down at your light. So very important here is that dim all your lights, especially overhead light. Anything that mimics your sun, tells your circadian rhythm, tells your body clock that, hey, I can still be awake. We don't want that. Dim all your lights. And you can have those salt lamps. You can have those, like, okay, look at mine, right? Alexa, lights red. You see that? I make it red. Red is the lowest frequency. So that it produces the most melatonin. Darker your room. So let's say, okay, look at this, right? Darker equals higher melatonin. And we need that. This is the sole reason. If we increase your melatonin, and if you do this Also, straight after putting your phone away, 1 hour before, your melatonin will start to increase. And you might think like, oh, but 10 p.m., I don't usually get tired at 10 p.m. If you dim all your lights at 9 p.m., you will produce melatonin, which makes you tired. All right, so step number 4. Step number 4. Look at this, right? So you've scheduled in sleep. You want to sleep at 10 p.m., for example. You want to wake up at 6 a.m. And then what you have to do next is you want to put screens out at 9 p.m., charge it outside your bedroom. And then after you charge it outside your bedroom, all your technology, all your screens out, then you want to dim all lights. Once you dim all lights and make sure there's no overhead lights, your melatonin starts to produce, right? So what do you actually do in that hour? That's the next thing. What do you do? So you have to do calming activities. Things that doesn't give you high novelty, high stimulation. So what you want to avoid is anything that gives you, that is like decisions. We want to avoid decisions. We want to avoid problem solving. So the best thing, what I like to say is the very first thing after you dim all your lights is take a hot shower. So when you take a hot shower, right? You're like, ooh, this is hot, hot, right? Afterwards, when you cool down, the process of cooling your body down, you will be in a calmer state. Your temperature drops. As your temperature drops, your heart rate also drops. You feel relaxed, you feel calmer. So make sure, go take a hot shower 1 hour before bed. Do not do it 20 minutes before sleeping. The reason being is if you are still hot, in a hot state, you're not gonna feel like you wanna fall asleep because you're still like not in a calm state yet. So here is some activities that you can do. For example, you wanna do yoga or gentle stretching, something that is not too like, just very gentle, not too like overpowering, okay? You can do meditation, you can do reading, you can do journaling. And what I love is you can do light conversations with your partner or friend. Not try to pick a fight. Try to figure out like, hey, who can I call or who can I just talk to that not about gossip, but something that calms you down and just like relax and connect. Or for those of you that like calming audio, make sure maybe do like a podcast, a calming podcast. So there's actually a lot that you can do. All right, let's summarize. If you want to break the cycle of low energy, fatigue every day, bedtime procrastination, and this constant nighttime arousal loop, what you need to do is step 1, schedule in sleep and stick to it. For example, 10 to 6, right? And if you schedule it in at 10 p.m., make sure 9 p.m. screens outside of the bedroom. Dim all your lights as much as possible and no overhead lights. And do calming activities. No decisions, no problem solving. These are the things. Think about things that really decrease your heart rate and relaxes you. That's what you want to do. And I hope I've provided so much value. If you haven't subscribed yet, you may not see my content again. But if you have, I hope my content has been providing you so much value every single week and helping you thrive with ADHD. I'll see you later.